What's up everybody, Jeremy Weiss here with Weiss Tech Hockey, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about defending against the umbrella power play setup. The umbrella power play setup is a very effective power play, and teams that run it well can really cause a lot of problems for you because there are a lot of different options, and if they run it well, a lot of times they can end up with odd man advantages in front of your own net, which is about the worst thing that you can have happen, especially on your penalty kill. So what I want to do is just kind of outline a few of the things that I've seen in the past, systems that have worked well against the umbrella and systems that haven't worked as well, and kind of throw in my own little opinions and 2 cents worth, and then you can take as much or as little of this as makes sense with your own team based on your own team's strengths and weaknesses, and apply it how you see fit in your own personal situations. So let's go ahead, we'll pull up the rink. Here we have a basic umbrella setup, and we've drawn this up very similar to the way that we actually drew it up in our power play section, where we've got a quarterback kind of steering the play. Then we've got 2 guys with good one-timers on the side here. Basically top of the circle is kind of high slot area, and then we've got 2 guys in front of the net ready to bang home any rebounds that may come. What I've seen a lot of coaches do against the umbrella is set up with a diamond formation. Now, at first glance, the diamond looks like it makes a lot of sense because we've got a guy covering the quarterback man, and then 2 guys covering the options from there. What the problem with the diamond is that as soon as the puck gets past that first line of defense, all of a sudden now we've got 1 guy trying to cover 2 guys in front of the net. So at the end of the day, it doesn't work very well. It almost always inevitably ends up on the stick of the backdoor man, and he can tap in an easy rebound. So I'm not a huge fan of the basic diamond. Now, there are some variations of the diamond that can be effective if your team can perform and execute well. And that's called a collapsing diamond. So basically what ends up happening is you start off a little bit lower, okay, so a little bit more compact, and basically if the puck goes out to this guy, then we'll have this forward move out and pressure. And then whichever side this guy ends up passing to, so let's just say as soon as he pressures, he slides it over to this guy. Then we send this forward out hard, and this forward immediately collapses back. Okay, so part of the problem with the diamond is that there is a passing lane right in here, right behind this forward as he slides out. So we want him to pressure out and then immediately collapse back in. When this guy sees that the puck has gone to this side, he is going to basically collapse down and make sure that we don't get outmanned in front of the net. So in this scenario, basically, this guy is pressuring, kind of trying to eliminate the shot through. We've got the forward in the middle who has pressured enough to make that guy make a pass, but then collapse back, and now he's in the middle of the cross-ice passing lane, right? Ready to intercept. This guy's in the middle of the shot. Okay, so I'm just drawing out where this puck carrier's possible options are. And then we've got 2 guys covering the 2 guys in front of the net. So in theory, that should work. The only possible passing option that this guy now has is to come back to the original guy that had the puck, the quarterback. Now when that happens, basically this guy slides back out to pressure, this guy slides back, this guy slides out. Okay, so there is a fairly complicated shift that happens in that. So now we're back in ready position. Let's say he moves it to this side now, right? Because they tried the one option, we covered it, shut it down. So as soon as this pass is made again, what does this forward do? Immediately collapses back, okay? This defenseman comes out and challenges, and this forward, so now we'll have this defenseman have to slide over and pick up this guy. This forward collapses down so that we don't get outmanned in front of the net. So again, we've got the cross-ice pass covered, we've got a guy in that passing lane, we've got the shot covered, we've got both rebounds in front of the net covered. Really the only place that he can go now is back to this guy. So that's the collapsing diamond. Works really well, except the only problem with this is that the shifts are very complicated. Your responsibilities are constantly changing between forwards and defensemen, and you have to really have have smart players and players that can play with their heads up and understand where they need to be at the proper times. If the shift breaks down, then you will get scored on. That's just a matter of fact with that particular setup. So that's the sagging zone. Now there's that's the collapsing diamond. Now there's another kind of, it's a variation of kind of a wedge plus one combined with a box that I actually really quite like. So let's go ahead, we'll go like this, and I'm actually going to hit pause for a second, get the setup, and then we'll come back. Okay, so here we have our basic setup. Now you can see that we start off almost like a box formation. Now one of the main key points is that you've got to have forwards that understand angling and sealing off passing lanes to be able to do this. Okay, so if they're not good at angling and sealing off passing lanes, then it just flat out won't work. So here's what's going to happen is as the puck comes out to the point, we're going to send one of our forwards, and we can designate the same forward every time so that we're always angling to the same direction. That's fine. But what he's going to do is he's going to come out at an angle where he's going to pressure this guy that way. So basically what he's doing, by taking this angle, he's eliminating the pass back to the forward that's on his side. And this is where I'm saying his ability to angle and seal that passing lane is what's going to make or break this setup. If he can do it well, then it works really, really well. If he can't, then it'll fall apart and you'll have to figure out something else. Okay, so as he's angling this guy, what that's doing is that's basically leaving two potential options for the puck carrier. A pass here, okay, or a shot, right? So what we're going to do is, as he's angling, we're going to have this forward be ready to jump on that pass across. Now he can play a little bit of possum so that maybe he makes it look like that guy's open, then he seals it and takes the puck. If that's the case, he can get a breakaway. But worst case scenario, we're just going to have this guy cover to make sure that pass doesn't get through. So basically what we're doing, we're eliminating the two potential passing options. Okay, we've got this guy that's taking an angle and that's close enough that if this guy decides to start walking, he just picks him up. So really what we're doing is we're saying I have confidence in my goaltender to be able to stop a shot from the blue line. And I have confidence in my two low defenders to box out and make sure that this is a visible, clear shot that our goalie can easily save without a rebound. And that's what we do in this case. So basically we're taking away every possible passing option, we're taking away the rebounds and leaving it with a shot from the blue line, which I hope every single goalie in your league can stop a routine shot from the blue line, no matter how hard it is. But that is, we had a team when I was playing juniors in Toronto, we had a team that was they were actually doing our overload that converted into an umbrella. They were doing the same power play setup we were using, but they were doing it very, very well against us and just eating us up. And this was the way that we actually ended up beating them, is we would just take away the passing option, take away that passing option, make sure our D boxed out in front, and we left it with the only option that was available for that player was to take a shot from the blue line. And at the end of the day, that was what ended up sealing off that particular power play setup against us. And so it works, but really, it really hinges on whether or not this player is good enough and understands angling and sealing off passing lanes to be able to take this passing lane away while staying close enough to the player that if he decides to walk it in, he can pick him up, and take the puck off of him. So those are the main ways of defending against an umbrella power play setup. So hopefully that comes in useful for you.